How do you build a legacy? One day at a time, one race at a time, one lap at a time. In 2025, Niece Motorsports celebrates their own legacy made up of 10 seasons in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The team is owned by Al Niece, a businessman and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps serving in Vietnam. Entering its 10th season, Niece Motorsports has earned 9 wins and amassed 50 top 5 finishes and over 100 top 10s. The team has made NASCAR's version of the playoffs on 5 occasions. Follow along as we take you behind the curtain and into the stories of the people who've built the team. And there's no better person to start with than Al Niece.
Hi, I'm Al Niece, owner of Niece Motorsports, and celebrating our 10th year in NASCAR.
When did racing first come into the picture for you?
I first became involved in racing in high school when I had a 53 Studebaker that I ran at a local drag strip. I put a Chevy in it, a 301. From there, it was hit and miss racing till I got out of the service. I had a drag boat. I had a short track circle car, asphalt. Primarily with my sprint car, I stayed in Texas, Mesquite and Houston. Those were dirt tracks. Neither one of them are in existence anymore. It was a low budget team. We ran at the back. There was times when I'd pull in from the push block on the front of my truck to the license plate on the trailer was worth less than some of the cars that were on the track. Ended up getting married. That put an end to all that. Started attending some of the NASCAR races as a guest and really enjoyed the trucks. And I felt that the trucks could be an easy way for me to enter it. At that time, it wasn't anywhere near the expense it is now. Our business involves water trucks and fuel lube trucks, so trucks was a natural for us. And I figured that it was a less expensive way to enter a more competitive nature with NASCAR. And it just took off from there with the help of some good drivers and Cody and Phil's leadership. I mean, it's taken off.
Al and I definitely did not grow up thinking we were going to be in the spots we are. He raced sprint cars as a hobby. I raced pro trucks as a hobby. It was, oh yeah, sure. We're drivers. We thought we were the best driver in the world, but we never saw the end result of where we would end up. He got up and went to work. And I've seen that as I look back at the history of his life. There's so many times where he just outworked his competitors, whether it's in water truck business, fuel lube truck, and has grown his business into an incredible operation with operations in Austin, Dallas, up in Kansas, and can sell worldwide, can put units, can put trucks wherever it needs to be worldwide. So that is, it's inspiring.
Do you still want to get behind the wheel of a race car?
Oh yeah. Given the opportunity, I'd jump behind anything. Getting a little long of tooth and harder to fit in some of these seats, but I'd jump at a drop of a hat.
Al has done very well in life, right? He's been wealthy, not just financially, but he's lived a full life. If you look at, he's been a pilot. He fought in Vietnam and survived. He's run Ironman triathlons. He's ran 50, 60 mile races, sprints. He's ran sprint cars. He's done the petty driving experience, right? He's ran a business for 48 years successfully. Many people don't last 2 years, 2 months.
I joined the Marine Corps in '66. Not right out of high school, but shortly thereafter. I turned 21 in boot camp, which made me one of the oldest. And I knew where I was going to go. I wanted to be a Marine. If I was going into the service, I wanted to be going into the best. And so I enlisted. They had a short window where usually at that time you could enlist for 3 years up to 6. But they had a short window of 2 years, and I thought, I can handle 2. I didn't know if I could handle 3, but the Marine Corps is very good to me. I made rank ridiculously fast. I got up to sergeant in less than 2 years. saw some combat in Vietnam, and developed some lifelong friendships in the Marine Corps. We have no sponsorship from the Marine Corps, but we fly the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor on all our depots and have the flag on, and that's my gratitude.
How has your service shaped you as a person, but also as a business owner?
There's two words that come to mind. A lot of friends and business acquaintances say that I'm stubborn. I like to say I'm focused. I think the Marine Corps had a great deal of helping me get myself focused, and then carried on through. Anybody that has a business knows there's ups and downs, and sometimes the downs are pretty bad. The race team has had some down times and just stuck it on out.
He went through a hell that none of us can imagine with Vietnam, right? Like, he saw friends die. He saw enemies die. He was halfway around the globe fighting a war that he needed to fight. And we've talked about it to this day, like, you feel like you should have been there. I don't know. That was my job, right? And he's never shied away from it. He's open about it. He's proud of it. But the things that he saw as a 18, 19, 20-year-old, none of us can imagine. No one in this building can imagine. And I think when you look at some of the day-to-day struggles we have business-wise, or we lose a deal, I'm crushed. I don't say a wreck. I keep it together because I want to be the duck on the pond. I look calm and everything's good, but I promise you underneath I'm rolling, because I want my employees to be reassured that everything's fine. And at times over 10 years it hasn't been fine. We've made it fine. We've got through it. And a lot of that's because Niece has reassured me. He's taught me lessons.
What were you doing before Niece Equipment?
I was a salesman for an equipment dealer, and I had enough clients say what we needed. I was in Austin, Texas. That time was a lot smaller town that didn't have a lot of big equipment dealers, and I had enough customers that said, you ought to get off on your own and we'll give you some business. I got married, quit my job, and started the business all in the same month. And so it was nothing like all in. We're going to make this go. From there, it took off to where I ended up focusing on just water trucks. I mean, we had crane, we had Manitowoc, we had Grove, we had a lot of really big, heavy iron. But I felt if I could just get focused on one specific area, we could probably be a market maker, which we have with water trucks and fuel lube. That's why we're focused in the truck team, just the trucks.
Meeting Al, and Al really probably reignited my flame for NASCAR. I don't want to say racing, but NASCAR, and just the corporate world that it is, and being in the Cup side and Xfinity side, it's not for me. I wear blue jeans and boots every day. I'm very blue collar. I like working hard. So getting to know Al, and he wears blue jeans, he wears boots. He's very blue collar.
Now, Niece Motorsports is a little bit different. I think it was pretty much designed that way, being the odd man out, so to speak, or blue collar. I think the guys that just as soon have a cowboy breakfast or a steak night at the chuck wagon or something, rather than go out and have a nice dinner and whatever. We're down to earth, get the job done team, and a little engine that could kind of scenario. Cody came into the picture early on, and has really taken it to levels that I didn't expect. Well, in 2016, we only ran 2 races. We went to Martinsville and we didn't make the show. And we went to Fort Worth, and I was pretty proud of what we did. We were probably back of the pack somewhere, but we finished the race. Well, 2017, we had our little renting a 1-bay shop in a larger facility, and it just, Cody kept pushing for better quality and searching for better drivers.
What Al means to me is the world. Al cares about everybody
except, I mean, probably Luann more than everybody else, but he cares about his name, his team, his legacy, and that's very rare to find these days. After 2018 Homestead, Cody said, you know, the next step is we need to get us a good crew chief. And that's where Phil Gould came in the next year. Partnered him with Ross, and the rest is history.
And how did you get connected with Niece Motorsports?
I first met Cody when I worked at Roush. Cody was actually my car chief when I was crew chiefing, and then we kind of met, and then, you know, that was kind of like a one-year thing, and we all scattered different directions after that year, and then Cody and I always kept in touch, and then, you know, when Roush, they pretty much shut their Xfinity teams down, and I was looking for work, and Cody called me and said, hey, come by and check us out, you know, see what I got going on. You know, I came and, you know, had Ross, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
And when I met Al, we just hit it off. I flew out to Austin early on as we were talking and stayed with him, and just bunked in the house with him and Miss Lou and the pups. And so I've definitely seen the dogs grow up. There's a lot more of them now, and they're a whole lot bigger than they used to be. So yeah, we hit it off just as, I want to say friends, but it's more than that. I mean, he's in a lot of ways he's like a third grandpa to me. He's a buddy of mine, but he gives me advice. I go to him for advice on things that we talk. It's hard not to talk about racing. We're talking about racing a lot, but just the little bit I've learned about his business with Niece Equipment, and he'll ask me about watermelons, and then just talking about life and business and how you interact with people. The more I can be like Al Niece, I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
Just in general, talk about some of your favorite special moments that you've had with the team over the years.
Wow. Well, obviously it has to be the very first win at Kansas with Ross. That was a big blur. The biggest thing I remember was going into the last lap, I thought, oh my God, we're gonna win this damn thing. And we won it, and we had a small pit box. I damn near fell off it. And we were all celebrating. We were just right. I think we were the first stall after turn 4. And we were all jumping up, and NASCAR comes down and says, we had to get to the winner's circle. I didn't know where the winner's circle, I don't think any of us knew where the winner's circle were. So we were a little late getting to the winner's circle, but my goodness, it was one of the most memorable times I've had. Yeah, that's got my good luck green jacket on. I think we won 4 races with that jacket. I don't know what I was wearing the other times, probably nothing, something that was unlucky, but this is one of my favorite photos of Cody and Phil and Ross and myself. It really means a lot to me.
We're competitors, so winning is what we want to do, whether that's on Tuesday doing something in business or it's on Friday night in a truck race. We just want to win. So seeing Al after these wins, I mean, I can't put one ahead of the other. The first win was special and it set off the rest, but the most recent one at Darlington, having him there and jumping over pit wall to give him a big old hug.
Yeah, that Kansas race is what really put a fire under the team. It gave us all a sense of we can do this. And sure enough, we did. It's hard to put all the emotions together. I know we got off the pit box and they interviewed Phil. Phil had made the comment about me not having any more than a 7/16 inch wrench. So after the win, I went and got a wrench for Phil and Cody and framed them, thinking that, gee, this could have been the highlight of my career. And lo and behold, those two and the team they developed around them is where we are today. By my count, we have 10 wins. NASCAR thinks we have 9. We have the trophy to prove we have 10. But though, even that in itself was a special moment.
I want to talk about Iowa.
When we went to Iowa, and I couldn't make the trip, but I was watching at home with my wife, and I was jumping up and down, yelling at the dog. We have 4 labs. They didn't know what the hell was going on. They were barking and thought that something else was going on. And I just couldn't believe it. And about 20 minutes later, Cody called me and said they'd taken it away for rules infraction. And I think that is probably from the highest to the lowest in less than an hour than I can remember. There might have been some other things in my life, but as far as racing, that was definitely it.
Like, did you understand the reason why?
Oh,
Like,
we appealed. Cody and Ross were at the appeal with me. In fact, we were all together. And I could not understand. I tried to read through some of the rules. I had the rules at home, and Cody was trying to explain it to me, and which was probably the lowest and the highest point in the team's deal. I said, well, I'm coming in next week. And I had written a press release saying that we were shutting down the team. I was so disgusted with the nitpicking on NASCAR. It seemed like I felt like that we were having to pay a penalty, and I didn't think it was deserved. So I had a press release made. I flew in, I can't remember what day, and I went to dinner with a close friend, and he said, don't do it. And when I left dinner that night, I was still 50-50. But we have a deal on the wall and in the cars to press the attack, and you just don't quit. Well, why would I, as an owner, show the team that I'm willing to quit when they're not? That comes from my company commander in the Marine Corps. When we got out, he'd always, any kind of note you'd get from him or anything, he would say, press the attack, and which don't give up. He was a big Civil War buff. I think he was a Virginian. Very notable Marine. And it was just a don't give up attitude. And after Iowa, I thought that would be something to put on as a team logo. I'm sure it wasn't Rip's intention. He might have got it from, I thought I looked it up one time, from the Civil War, but as far as I'm concerned, he's credited with it. You just don't give up. And there were times we didn't give up. So when I got to the shop, I still had that press release. They had not touched the truck since the race. They thought they were all going to be out of a job. And I tore it up in front of them and said, let's go get them. I'm hoping that my attitude after the Iowa race is what was an impetus to driving the team forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of good times that we've had. And there's some hard times too. I mean, the least favorite one was him walking in and finding out what that piece of paper was. I didn't know what it was rolled up in his hand, but when he had paperwork in his hand to shut the team down, that's scary when he says, I'm holding the paperwork, if I sign it, that will shut this business down. Those are the not so good times, but those make the good times even better.
what was it that really made you willing to keep on going?
Well, I'd made a commitment to Ross. I got to thinking back, and I made a commitment to Ross and Cody that, I was in it. And for me to take a little personal slap or take what NASCAR did personally was probably wrong on my part. I still think it's wrong, but I'd made them a commitment, and how would it have looked for Ross, who had just announced that he was going to be driving for us in the team folds? That would have been an embarrassment for me and an embarrassment for Ross and Cody. And I just didn't want to put anybody through that.
So you left Iowa and you go straight into Gateway the next week.
Yep, Gateway.
Talk about what that picture means.
I did make that one, and I'm walking through the parking lot, and I had several people that I didn't know from Adam, and they came up to me and said, you guys got screwed at Iowa. And for the first time, it dawned on me that people were paying attention to this team. And it made me feel good that people felt the same way. Not that it was going to change NASCAR's mind or anything, but yeah, at Gateway, I mean, the team just, it was like they had a chip on their shoulder. In fact, I was so proud of the team. I think if you lined up all the teams and put boxing gloves on us all, we would have won that. I mean, the team was very, very, very focused, and including me. I mean, what can I do? Just stand around, jump around. But that was a very, very pleasing moment, coming back kind of like in your eye.
Al and Miss Lou I mean, I've had nice team owners before, but to have nice people that continually told me that they believed in me, and then they put together a team with trucks and parts and pieces and the people to go win. That's everything I ever wanted, and they gave me that.
As the team's grown over the years, how has it stayed true to its roots?
Well, I think like most of the guys in the shop, I don't think any of us have had anything given to us. We've all had to work for it, and I know I have, and surrounded myself with people that are that way. Cody and Phil and the drivers, and all the guys out in the shop. It's somebody that takes pride in what they're doing, and I mean, self-pride is what I think the team's built around. It's pretty easy when we up and down, up and down. We've gone through, as any business, you go through people. You try to retain the good ones and give an atmosphere to the new people. I take as much pride in what we have as to seeing people that have left the team and gone on to other teams and been successful. This is not just drivers, it's crew chief, pit crew, all the way down. They either started with us or came from us or had some grounding with us. I take a great pride in that part of the team. Obviously, Ross is a great pride, personally and team-wise. Carson came on, and we had him for 3 years, and he ended up going to Cup and been successful, which is a pride for the team. I do take pride that we put 2 drivers in the Cup Series. I'm sure other teams have, but for where we came from and what we've done, I'm very, very proud of where we're at with that. I think we got more coming.
And I don't want to call him my grandpa, but he's all but that. Like he's the, I love seeing him. I love seeing Miss Lou. I love, regardless of me racing with him or against him, regardless what it is, right? It's so fun to see him and see him at the racetrack, and when he's doing well, it's so happy to see him and smiling and everything. So that's really what matters most to me right now.
How has team ownership been more rewarding than you thought it would be?
Well, being 1,200 miles away, it's hard to be as involved as I would have liked to be, but at the same time, I don't hear as much of the BS as is around, but it's rewarding. The team makes me very proud of what we've been doing. Everybody out in the shop, from bottom to the top, is I think they conduct themselves very professional, which makes me feel good.
Going through the school of hard knocks via Al Niece as your boss, employer, friend, best critic, worst critic, performance and racing, running a business. It's been so rewarding. Like what I've learned from Al and the knowledge that he's provided me and educated me on, I'll use the rest of my life. My kids will use it because I'll catch myself telling my kids things that Al has taught me.
The thing I want everyone to know about Al is pretty much what I said earlier. He cares genuinely about everyone, and his passion for this race team and people that wear his logo is above and beyond anybody.
How has team ownership been harder than you would have imagined?
That's an easy one. It's to compete competitively takes cubic money, and it started running past. As we got better, it was requiring a larger commitment on my part, which was something I hadn't expected. But it's a struggle. We found some good partners to work with, and as you see from our facility, I think we're right up there with the top 3.
Why do you still have that drive in you?
Well, people retire to do what they want to do. I am very, very fortunate. I'm doing what I've been wanting to do for 50 years.
I see Al get up. I don't see him visually every day. I hear him, I talk on the phone with him every day. That guy don't stop. He's getting ready to be 80 years old. And for the 10 years that I've been around him, he's worked harder than anyone in this building. He doesn't stop. And so it makes you want to work hard for him and do whatever it takes, because you want to live up to his expectations. And I'm not sure they are his expectations. Just you get that persona of that, how he conducts himself, you want to be in that and conduct yourself.
Al's pretty strict, right? So I learned, I don't know if I learned it, I'm still trying to learn it, but just being disciplined, right? Of, just carrying yourself as well as you can, and still learning that side of it. But I remember, waking up super, super early, earliest I ever woke up, and at his barn and his house, and, doing that like my rookie year and trying to spend time with him and doing things. And anytime I wake up early, I text Al and say, I try and beat him. I never do, but I try and beat him. Even if I somehow wake up at 4 a.m. and I think I'm in a good spot because, he lives in Texas. It's a lot earlier for them. I'm like, man, I'm going to get him. I'm going to beat him. He always texts me right back, and it's always a disappointment, but I'm glad he texts back.
Yes, I am an early riser. Some of that goes back to the service, but getting up at 2 or 3 in the morning, just no alarm is no problem for me. I am notorious for sending texts out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. When they wake up, I want my text to be the first one get responded to. I get a lot of flack about it, but it's all in good jest. But yeah, Carson gets up about 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm having lunch. So when I come to the shop, it's like one big family. Everybody's in a good mood, especially when we're on a winning streak. But we've got some employees that have developed through us, and I think I mentioned earlier that we've had some that have left and gone on to greater positions, which, sorry to have lost them, but they came from us, and that's a great product. The guys we have right now, we got some very loyal employees that have been, a few of them have been for the very beginning, some of them have been with us for 5, 6 years. And it seems to me that in this industry, that's a pretty good period of time.
What would it mean to you to bring a championship to Al?
Winning a championship for Al Niece would be, the cherry on top. I feel like we've done so much together. Running a business for 10 years is not easy. The climate of the political landscape in this country, the revenue sources, the margins are tighter than they've ever been. Battling through COVID, we've accomplished a lot already. The trophies in this room, the memories. I think by the end of this year, we'll be over 600 starts in the Truck Series. Employed numerous employees, provided and put meals on their plates for their families. Those are all great things. They're wins, right? They're tremendous. So I do the analogy of the cherry on top because I did an interview at Phoenix 2 years ago before the championship race, and they asked this same question to me: what would it mean to win for Al Niece? It was live on Sirius. I struggled to get through it. I started crying because it would mean everything. What the guy has done for me, my family. I don't say my life was in shambles, but I wasn't in a good spot financially. I brought 2 kids in the world while working for Al. He's provided for my family. So to give him something that, you can't go buy, right? I don't know. I don't say it'd make the deal complete between us because of what he's done for me, but I feel like I finally did something worthy for him compared to what he's done for me and all the people here. That's what it would mean to do that for Al Niece.
Well, being 10 years, part of me says that I didn't expect to be around that long, but success breeds success. We had some tough years in there. I wish we'd have been a little more smooth, but you know, it has come as a surprise that 10 years came so quick. I think the one thing that I take great pride of is, just to capsulize it, I live in Blanco, Texas, and around a lot of cowboys. And we've got a group called the Blanco Group that I don't think they knew a spark plug from an injector. And they follow the team religiously. And some of my business acquaintances are following the team. Following a team that started out from really nothing to where it is today is a great sense of joy for me personally, that I know my family enjoys it. We've got a lot of people involved in NASCAR. Bring it to the fans. I mean, at Gateway, when I didn't think anybody knew who we were, and I was walking through the parking lot, and I'd mentioned earlier that several people thought that we'd got screwed at Iowa. You know, so we were becoming a fixture, and we are now, and I take great pride in that. Yeah, the NASCAR fans, particularly the truck, thank you for your support for Niece Motorsports. Keep watching us. Things are going to get better.